Hello adventurers! Today I present to you 5 things that I definitely think would make Sea of Thieves great again.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying at all that Sea of Thieves is bad, and in my opinion it is the best pirate game and definitely falls into the quadruple A category, especially after the Season 11 update. But before we get into the list, I highly encourage you to share your own opinion on this in the comments down below, as who knows, maybe Rare will see this one day and get some inspiration from you. So without further ado, moving on to number 1 on the list. If you have been playing the game for more than a month or two, then you would have noticed the emergent threats that you get are either a skeleton ship, a megalodon, or if you're super lucky, a kraken, which is a 20% chance that it'll actually pick your boat out of the other 5 on this server. My math may be incorrect, but the fact is, it's super low, which means that the only 2 that you see 90% of the time are a skeleton ship or a megalodon. This can feel very repetitive and not really exciting after you've killed hundreds of them. My suggestion would be to add more of a variety into the rotation here. Perhaps a few extra like a giant squid or whale or something cool and made up. Now I know this one might be a bit controversial, but I do think that a solo boat would make the game a lot more accessible for players that either don't have a friend or don't want to join the chaos, which is open crew. I've seen some posts of people being really anxious to interact with people and find it hard to operate a sloop alone, and let's face it, steering a ship, managing sails, using cannons, repairing and staying alive while being chased by a reaper and a megalodon chomping at you is a bit much, especially if you're new to the game. While I know Safer Seas is there to help out new players to get to know the game first, it still doesn't cater for preparing you for all of that. And yes, I know a lot of people will say, well, get good noob, and that's fine, but that's also something that makes the player base decline. I think either an oversized rowboat or a raft with a sail instead of oars, as well as a single cannon on the front would be sufficient for those that like to live the solo adventure arc. This one might be a little bit biased because of my love for the Hunter's Call faction in the game. With Season 11's changes to every faction level cap and getting more loot or quests has left me a bit stunned that the Hunter's Call got absolutely nothing.
I need help.
But nonetheless, perhaps this was intentional, and big things await the Hunter's Call in the future. I would love to see some specific quests for the Hunter's Call, perhaps by hunting those new emergent threats mentioned, or even just more cool encounters with like a super megalodon in the game. Or additionally, allow us to shift the cage quest to the Hunter's Call, as it makes no sense being with the Merchant Alliance. Whichever way you look at it, the Hunter's Call does feel like it's lacking the most out of all the available alliances, and sadly, because I'm a diehard fan of it, I'm still drawn to it nonetheless. With the recent community weekend passing, I'm sure a lot of you got to experience it, but quite a few of you didn't as well. But there are pop-up plunder maps which you have to check Sea of Thieves socials to figure out where the treasure is. I think the concept that everyone has access to the same map is a good thing for the game. Bringing people in closer orientation on the maps will be good for engagement, as the vast map sometimes can feel a bit lonely. The reward needs to be worth it though, and not just commendation specific like the Skull of Sirensong with a 50k price tag. I think adding a system to publish a map in the game every hour or every couple of hours for a generous box of reputation, perhaps giving the player the option on where to hand this in at the various faction will be good and healthy, due to the huge increase of experience needed for the distinction system added to the game. This will make people more inclined to do this rather than working on yet another commendation. Now, as you probably saw with the thumbnail of the video, I added a house on an island. This is leading to something that I think is most lacking in the game. A private instance that you can build up with either getting commendations or by using gold. Imagine your own island that you can call your home. You could invite your guild to come and chill there, or even participate in fun pirate-themed games for those sessions where you just want to relax. This would be amazing if you could customize it yourself, whether by selecting the housing or entertainment features it has to offer, through predetermined locations and options, or additionally a system to build things in there. But that would require a lot of additional core mechanics work, so I don't expect that. This would be possible by sailing through a portal, or something like what we did in the Pirate's Life. I think it would be a great addition to the game in terms of being able to have some form of depth or progression in the game other than just a boat and character cosmetics. And that concludes our list. If you did enjoy the video and found yourself thinking, yeah, that would be great, subscribe for more content coming soon, or watch this video here if you want to be sailing in style.